People don't realize life really hit me when I became a world champion. When I got to the point where millions of dollars came in, all I wanted to do was be a regular person. And then people threw me on this pedestal, like I'm this high and they down there, that it's kind of hard.
Yeah, I've never been like world champion, but I've like been to a therapist.
Yes.
And therapy is great, man.
It is.
Therapy, like more black people, more black men should seek therapy.
My dad always told me never trust women. That's what he told me my whole life. And it was funny he told me that because then when you have two daughters, then I'm starting to think about what kind of leader I want for my daughters.
Yo, it's your boy Prez, aka Cheap Allegations Poppy, aka Get Fit Poppy, aka Future Penthouse Poppy, and in the building we got
Brother Pete, aka Kid Chocolate.
You said Brother P?
I'm Brother P now, yes.
Brother P?
Yeah.
No more Kid Chocolate?
Well, I can't run away from being Kid Chocolate. That's who I am. So I'm always had that on me. I mean, as a young shorty, they call me P Dirts. So they still call me Dirts, depending who they are. So some people know me for boxing, never not the music. So now I'm Brother P as the music.
Okay, so I actually met you like 11 years ago.
Yes, that's
at the Barclays Center at the Poli Brotha fight.
You told me, you showed me the picture, and you was like, "Say, oh, you look a lot skinny." You said, "So were you?" So we here now.
Yeah, a lot of good eating.
Yes.
What was that process like going from being a boxer into being a musician? Like,
well, you know, when you have a strong discipline as a boxer, it's not really. I don't feel limited to not doing anything. I can do a lot of things. I just had to put my mind to doing it. So what I just did, basically, I took the same discipline I did, build up the confidence in boxing. I did it with the music. I started writing a lot of music. I found out the message I'm speaking about, and you know, I got endless words about the message because the story is never ending. It's always going.
Has music been like therapeutic for you after boxing?
Yes, because now I get to get all those stories, those experiences out and make it creative enough where, you know, somebody listen, they could tell that I've been through some stuff. I got a very experienced life. I've been through a lot of stuff in my life, and now I really could tell this story, but do it in a different kind of way. I feel like after I done dropped these couple albums that I done wrote, put it out, then I start writing a book and try to, you know, talk about my life coming from where I come from.
So you're writing a book too as well?
I'm going to write a book, yeah. I started now already, you know, brainstorming about, you know, it's always got to be a redemption story. It's a never-ending story, but it's got to be a redemption because, you know, coming from where I come from, being a world champion, all these things, people don't realize life really hit me when I became a world champion. When I got to the point where millions of dollars came in, all I wanted to do was be a regular person. And then people threw me on this pedestal, like I'm this high and they down there, that it's kind of hard.
How tough was it being world champion and trying to be a regular person?
Well, I don't think that can happen. I think that's why a lot of mental stuff was happening to me. Like you know, when I was on the penthouse floor too. So you ain't the only penthouse poppy. But I was on the penthouse floor, and one day I just really looked down from my window, and I remember all these calls I used to get. These calls don't be regular calls. These calls are like, nephew, I'm about to lose my house. So how much it's gonna cost to keep your? Oh man, it's gonna be like $50,000. And those kind of calls, after a while, they kind of get depressing and going over and over again. One day I was like, how do I make those calls stop or those voices stop? And it's like, oh, one day you could just jump out this window. And I said, oh, what if one day you think about changing your mindset? By that time, I even count. I said, oh, about 6 seconds. You got 6 seconds to change your mind. So I said, if I get to that point, you know, I got to be able to be ready. But then I started really, you know, fighting with the idea that I had a lot more reason to live. And boxing wasn't just the only thing. So started seeking help and going to a therapist and speaking about these stories. But now it's therapeutic putting it into the music now.
Yeah, I've never been like world champion, but I've like been to a therapist.
Yes.
And therapy is great, man.
It is.
Therapy, like more black people, more black men should seek therapy.
Well, I think you know, the black community tell you not to think that or go talk to nobody about your problem, work it out, and that's the problem.
Yeah. And you know how like the way I view therapy is the same way I view the gym. It's mental exercise.
Yes, it is.
Just talking to somebody.
Yes.
Venting, not like just reacting like, yo, had this type of day, had that type of day, and it works wonders.
Well, you know, throughout my career, though, what I was doing, I was reading the Bible. But I didn't know how to apply the Bible because there's a lot of stuff that you got to overlook and get to the real gems of what's really for you. And I had to go through a lot of stages in my life to get to the point where I started to understand that the Bible was used to work your mind, how to work your mind, how God wants to use you, how the plans of God is always good, and we push the negative things on a platform for ourselves.
What was your before you had your spiritual awakening? What was your relationship with God before?
It was like mediocre. It was like in and out on moments in my life, coming just in and out, and not really making God a priority. Not seeing God in the details of my life. See, that's where God wants to live in your details. But in those details, I had like parties, I had drugs, I had women, I had a lot of me in those things. So that's why I was by myself. And then when you get as a boxer, you kind of like everybody is giving you the ride here. It's you. I'm always in the point of the peace and the chaos. So all the chaotic stuff around me, I was the peace. So I feel like I didn't know how to control the stuff around me, which I eventually learned that it was only me. I was supposed to be controlling myself.
Did you ever like feel like you had like peace of mind when you were like boxing in your career?
Yeah, when I was in the gym working, because I felt like I was in total control of that, because of like I used to go do an exercise in the mirror, like go to the mirror and say, yo, who's going to value you more than you value yourself? I never would answer the question. I would go work out hard, then come back after my workout was done and say, nobody's going to value you more than you value yourself, because you value yourself off of hard work. And that's what I was doing a lot of part of my career. So I would do activities like that, but just being, it felt like, I'm detoxifying in my mind because I'm working out. I'm not letting nothing outside the gym get to me. And then, it would be like my therapy, my medicine for me to work out and be in the gym and shut everybody else out.
What advice would you give to like boxers that just retired on retirement?
Well, just remember all those conversations that people told you when you was a boxer. They always told you, shut up and box. Ask yourself, are those same people still around you now? So when you ask that question, and you probably would say, like I came up to, is like, no, they're not. So don't listen to those people. You should, especially as now I know as a man is always has to continue to grow and learn and keep getting better with himself. And, live your life. And that's what I didn't realize. People was always, shut up and box. But it was so many things, like, don't think about acting. I did a movie, and I would have stumped my growth if I was told not to do those things. And, I think, and we can't compare ourselves to other fighters who got $1 million, who getting to spend all this money. That's not everybody's story. So you got to remember, your story is your story, and you should be in charge on how you want to write your story.
How have your fans of boxing responded to you? Like, how have the Kid Chocolate fans responded to Brotha P? Like, how's that like translated?
Well, fans and supporters are always different. Supporters gonna kind of follow you, do everything you do, especially if they like your personality, like who you are as a person. They gonna kind of like pray for you. Like when I took a loss in the Barclays Center, fans see me lose, but supporters felt the pain with me, and that was the difference. So I think don't ever get them too confused. I got real supporters, people that's like really put me in a point where they know my influence and my leadership is very important. Fans don't care; they just want to see you entertain them.
Why did you?
Which one are you?
I'm a supporter.
Oh, okay.
Why did you name the project Seven Scrolls?
The Seven Scrolls. I always thought daydreaming all the time. Daydreaming is a very important part of a creative process. And I was thinking to myself,
I used to get like yelled at for doing that as a kid. By teachers. They're like, yo, you're daydreaming. So like, nah, that's how you create. And now I'm a creator. So
that's what it is. So I thought about myself, how can I write my if I wrote my life in 7 chapters, what would it say? So I kept just thinking about the number 7. And got the revelation, because my kids, this project that I just dropped, 7 Scrolls Lifted by Yahweh, my son's name is Joaquin, which means in Hebrew, lifted by Yahweh. So I dedicated this song, and I let my kids be part of the creative process behind picking the songs they want to be on the album. So my son picked all these songs that's on the album now today. But basically just thinking about if I write my word, I'm always doing the number 7. So I'm actually gonna drop another project. It's gonna be another 7 songs. And then my daughter, my next daughter, April 3rd, drop another one on her. So it'll be 7/7/7/21. So I got 21 songs, and I just figured like my story being told in seven chapters.
How has fatherhood changed your life?
Man, it's actually paying me back for the whack childhood that I had. You know, the things that you really, you know, we can yell about, I didn't have this, I didn't have that. My mom never hugged me. My mom didn't know how to hug me, and she didn't know how to love me. But now I do because of the felt love that I was received in my own home. So I just pay myself back by doing the things I never got to have as a kid. You know, so I'm hugging my kids all the time. I'm teaching them confidence. I'm teaching them look in the mirror, know yourself. Don't ever follow nobody. All these things. So I took some things my mom taught me, but I'm recreating a story that my mom was trying to get to me, and I'm recreating it with my own children.
That's what's up. That's definitely what's up. And like the kids were a part of the creative process as well. That's amazing.
Yes, they was. And I would tell you, I got a son and 2 daughters. You know, my dad's from Cuba, and my dad always told me never trust women. That's what he told me my whole life. And it was funny he told me that because then when you have 2 daughters, then I'm starting to think about what kind of leader I want for my daughters. So I had to become the leader I want my daughters to bring home one day. So
they always say daughters make a man a better man.
Depends the kind of man though. Some men don't even care. They just feel like this is part of the game. They cast their kids into the game. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, but real dads, real fathers, they step up. Yeah.
Yes.
They do their thing.
I teach my daughters, they look at me as their husband right now. I'm their husband right now. Right now, Dad, you married to Dad right now. Dad's job to teach you, you know, the kind of respect that a man's supposed to teach you. And then one day when you find a husband, you tell him, you let him meet me. And then I say, oh, if you want this one to be, I'll give him away to you.
So what happened when you had your spiritual awakening?
I never been the same. I lost a lot of people. You start, you stop, because when you start getting into a certain level in life, you start making excuses for other people's behaviors. You start like looking at people and like, you'll see a man probably, mess with somebody else's girl. They supposed to be boys. His man got locked up, but now my man is messing with his girl and all that type of stuff. You would never think that could happen to you, and I found out that can. And I stopped making excuses for the immorality people wanted to make, and I really started to stand up for the truth. And I think that's what created a lot of problems within people in my circles. That sometimes you got to stop hanging on. But if God don't really want to have you part of something, God gonna take away those people away from me. So I started praying friends to be away. God take away people that's not supposed to be here, and He started doing it.
So the last 5 years have been really eventful.
Yes, it has. I've got different big revelations about life, about God, about belief, and a lot of the deep topics I got, like, most people, why they say don't talk about politics and religion, because most people don't know what they vote for and they don't know what they believe. So what I found out is what I believe, who I believe in, why I believe in them, all those questions got answered. Because a lot of people usually without the faith, the kind of faith that I got, usually got a lot of questions about God and questions about their own trauma that they haven't dealt with, that they want to push that insecurity on you. And I learned how to, God, I just met my kid that trained me. He haven't seen me in 3 months, and he wants to just come back. He said, I had to remind him, I'm not training you to be a boxer, right? He said, I know. I'm teaching you how to be a man. Teaching you how to be confident. I'm teaching you how to fight those ideas you don't like about yourself every day. So I think the spiritual awakening, now all it did was give me a deeper purpose of why I walk the earth every day, and everything I'm connected to is about purpose.
What you want your legacy to be as a person?
My legacy is going to be dead in the grave when I die. I'm looking forward to the new man I'm becoming every day. And I think working hard for a legacy, I don't think I even think about it like that. I think about, doing what God wants me to do is going to be always the opposite of what I think that I think I should be doing. And I think the most important thing, my legacy, is going to be left with my son. You know what I mean? The kind of man that he's going to be, the man that he's going to be better than his dad, which is, you know, I think that's an ongoing thing, no ongoing story being told. Hey, you got to be a better man than your dad because I made a lot of mistakes. So I'm going to give you my mistakes. You can learn from them and learn from your own mistakes and become a better man than your dad.
So how did the Tory Lanez feature come about?
You know, Tory Lanez, we was cool before. My brother used to be an artist, and I paid for some vocals, and me and my brother got into some problems. He didn't put out that second song, and I was laying in the bed one day, and I felt like God was saying, "You can use these vocals." And it's, you know, this song that I got was basically pretending about the subject he's going through right now. So I don't like how a lot of people, not to say I'm gonna make excuses for anybody's behavior. We always, as a man, should be able to protect women. You know, number one. But number two is always give a redemption story. You know, we got a lot of black men that's already in jail already, and we can't be knocking him down. We should, you know, uplift him and give him a better message that he able to come out and make impact for young black Americans.
So a lot of redemption, a lot of atonement. And we should just like, you can do wrong, but you can also do right.
Yes, you can. I mean, we should, everybody, why we can't shun somebody for making a mistake and then push them down and keep them down there. We should help him embrace them and, you know, wipe off his mistakes. Like, yo, have you learned from those mistakes? It's time to move on now. What have you learned from those mistakes that we can start teaching to the youth?
They always say the best apology is change behavior.
Exactly.
And what would you like the supporters, I'm not going to say fans, what would you want the supporters to gain from your project, from your music?
First of all, you know, they always got a stigma on boxers. Boxers can't read.
They be giving boxers hell, I ain't gonna lie.
But I'm gonna tell you something though, I got over 50 songs I wrote with my own pen. So I'm very confident. I basically took on the same discipline I had with fighting and boxing with the message that I'm coming with. I think you're gonna learn a lot of experiences. You're gonna learn about life. You could take some Jews and get insight about your own life, what you work. I got on the upcoming project, I got a lot of songs about women. We got songs about mental illness, a lot of different things that I'm just going to put it out. And I'm not even worried about this project just going like boom, bananas. I'm going to say down the third or fourth when they going to see that your boy consistent, and I'm not going to stop. I'm going to build my catalog, and that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to leave it alone after I'm done.
So what's the next chapter, the next step in life for Brotha P, a.k.a. Kid Chocolate?
Man, I just learned about this spot in Philly. They got like soul food, Chinese food. I'm gonna bring you. So that's my legacy right there. Go do that with me before we get skinny again. But what I would just tell you before we get skinny again. But now we just in a different place in our lives. We got a lot of great wisdom. You know, God is still good. I'm gonna be working towards the plan of like, you know, I never trained to get ready for my retirement. So that's why I'm on my next dedication. Going to start a plan, getting on my diet. I know it's important for the kids that I'm training. Even though I can say I won my championship, I can go on and no, I need to be teaching health and I need to be teaching other things that's going to be important as far as my message and everything like that.
So you gonna like train kids? Like
I train kids now.
Where?
I train them down in South Street, Seaport. I got another group of men that I teach, just like young professionals, young men that box and work, train, fight down on Bleecker Street in Broadway. So I train them there, but I went to rehab. I went to rehab from marijuana. I was smoking a lot of weed, and
that's hard to go to rehab for, because like weed smokers never feel like they have a problem. It's just weed. It's like you can have it.
But what they say this though is medicine for them.
Yeah.
So then what's the diagnosis then? You know what I mean? So a lot of people out here self-diagnosing themselves, not medicine, but actually a drug, because medicine cure you. When you get a headache, you take a Tylenol, it cure your headache. But when you curing yourself from it, if you're doing something all the time, repetitive, that's called a drug.
Yeah.
So that's what I had to learn the difference, and now I'm teaching. And now you know what a GMO is?
GMO, ain't that like
genetically modified? They got a lot of genetically modified food, correct?
Yeah.
Weed is genetically modified too. You got all this Mango Kush, all these different names. These are all genetically modified drugs.
Yeah,
and
it's not good for the body.
It's not. It's not. It's not. It's more not good for your mind state. God
yeah.
said, "Be sober minded, be vigilant, because the devil line looking. He's destroying a lot of lives with drugs." And I'm here to tell a better message. Not telling the message from a standpoint of judgment, but a message that's saying, I've been there. I know what the difference is. I learned to discern that this was a drug and this is what I was doing every day. I was smoking to the point where I was getting up and smoking weed as coffee.
Damn.
You know, going to sleep, how to use weed, and stop me from being irritated. And when I didn't have it, would be irritated. So I went to rehab. Jason Williams, they used to play for the Knicks.
The Nets, yeah.
Is a good friend of mine. He let me come down there and do. Actually, I was like, Jay, I need to come down for a couple of days. No, he's like, no, you got to be down. When I went down there, he's like, P, unfortunately, man, you got to be down here for like a couple months. We can't just allow you. And I stayed down there for 3 months. I jumped out of a plane. I flew a plane. I was in there with Delonte West. I seen a relapse. It was in, it reached TMZ on his relapse, and I just learned that. And the lady, I was down there, I said, man, if I'm not careful, because it was a nice lady in there, I was like, man, this lady's so nice. Why is she in here? Like, yeah, she was a bad drinker. She was like being the type to be throwing up and be laying up and never took accountability for that. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna stop drinking. So I basically stopped drinking too, so I haven't had a drink. And I relapsed off of marijuana, but I'm 2 years clean, no marijuana, 4 years clean, no alcohol.
No alcohol.
Yeah.
That's something to say, because, you know, boxers have to be like really disciplined. So
yeah, a lot of people, you don't realize that a lot of people they put on the mask, they somebody else behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I smoked up with a lot of fighters. I'm not gonna be blowing nobody's spot.
I could believe, and I mean, also, you guys are like, boxing is a beautiful sport, but it's also a brutal sport. So,
brutal, yeah.
So,
but why would you want to mess up your mind even more?
That is true.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where I had to come to conclusion. You know what I mean? Sober, a good. When you got a perspective, insight about your future, why would you let anything come in the way of that? We got to stay focused on that. You got to know where you're going. You got to know where you're going. Nothing should be able to stumble you. And, you know, when you're a little tipsy and drunk, or you a little high, you stumbling. So I made sure that I clear my path for the mindset I want to have when I'm getting to the definition. I don't even let nothing take me off the path.
It's also a strong man to like go to rehab too.
Yeah, it's a strong man to talk about it.
That's even stronger. That's a fact. Yeah.
So I think it's a well-needed conversation, because, like you said, there's a lot of people out here saying, they kind of laugh at you when you say you went to rehab for marijuana.
Because when you think rehab, they think, cocaine, pills, meth, alcohol. It's never weed. I'm like, there are people that have issues with weed. Like,
If you smoking it every day like I was, it's a problem. If you need it to get by, or need it for you saying your anxiety, and that's a problem.
That's a problem. If you smoke, and the fact that if you got a lot of money, you can buy a lot of weed. So
yeah, but then you get to the point you chasing a high that you never gonna get from the first time you smoke.
Yeah,
that's never gonna happen again. Then you start going to experiment. You know, it go to marijuana. Then now you doing DMT. Now you doing mushrooms. You doing all kind of other stuff.
Yeah, it can lead you down some dark places.
Yes, it do. Yes.
And I'm glad you had your redemption story. You're still growing, doing your thing.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, we definitely got to get in shape though. Like,
we're gonna do that. I mean, this is the motivation, but the point of it is like every time somebody they should see you a work in progress.
Yeah.
You a work in progress?
Always a work in progress.
That's what I'm talking about then.
Every day
so
we
you
get
gonna
better.
come box with me when it's time?
Like spar or like practice?
No,
I'm not boxing. I'm not boxing the world champion.
So I use it to fight. It's one person you fight. You know who that is?
Who's that?
Yourself.
Ooh, I like that. You got bars.
It's yourself, man. So we go to the mirror, take you in the mirror, look at yourself, and the first question I ask you is like, are you happy with the person you see? And sometimes most people say no, they're not. And then that's who we fight. We're going to fight to that idea. So the next time, as you gradually keep coming, you're going to go to the mirror every day. You're going to start being more confident with the person you see in the mirror.
That's a great question. I ain't gonna lie, that's a loaded question, because some people might say no and some people might say yes, and if you think about it, it's like, how happy am I?
No, most people look at you and lie. That's what I found out. But the worst person to lie to is you look yourself in the mirror.
Like, am I happy?
I'll let you know, like, yo, bro, the worst person to lie to is yourself. So if you're willing to lie to yourself, then you probably don't belong here. You know what I mean? And then we go after we done. We go. Let's take 3 things that you're grateful for. What you grateful for today?
Today, my life.
Yes.
The ability to do this.
Yes.
And the ability to learn.
All right. I'm grateful for me to be able to happen to come here with you guys, kicking it with y'all. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for what God has done and what he's still doing.
Still doing.
Now let's do affirmations. I'm going to say I am. You tell me what you are. I am.
Great.
I am.
Blessed.
I am.
Beautiful.
Right. Ask me now.
I am.
Strong.
I am.
Positive.
I am.
Never going to give up. All right, ready? I am not. I am not.
I am not. No.
What are you not?
Oh,
I'm not.
Negative.
I am not.
Going to be destructive.
I am not.
Going to drink or smoke today.
That's it. I'm not disrespectful. I'm not a coward, and I'm definitely not no sucker. That's what I do. So that's what I'm on.
I like that. I definitely like that. So where can they find the album at?
It's on all streaming platforms. The album, I'm Brotha P. That's Brotha P. Because I wanted to make myself more relatable. You know, I was Kid Chocolate entertaining people for all the time. You know, entertainment. You know what entertainment is?
Nah, tell me.
It's a substitute for God's joy. Most people don't experience the love of joy in God in their life. They look for entertainment. So I wanted to basically give you something that can make you more relatable, myself more relatable. I'm your Brotha P. The album was called The 7 Scrolls Lifted by Yahweh, inspired by my kids.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And where can they find you at on Instagram?
At Kid Chocolate. I still go by at Kid Chocolate on Instagram. I built a healthy fan base there. From there, you'll find me wherever you need to find me. At Kid Chocolate on Instagram.
All one word?
Yeah, all one word. At Kid Chocolate. No
Gotcha.
confusion there.
And yo, it's your boy Prez, a.k.a. Cheap Allegations Poppy, a.k.a. Get Fit Poppy, a.k.a. Future Penthouse Poppy. And we just had
Kid Chocolate, Brotha Pete, on here rocking with y'all.
Appreciate you, B.
Thank you.
Nice to see you again. You
man.
know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You were skinny when I seen you last.